Right, but Mom, you believe in universal health care. You think that everyone should have health care, yeah?
And deserve health care. Of course they do. Of course they do. And we do have it. I mean, if there was someone without health care and they got injured, they go to a hospital and they do get care. They either write off their big bills, or they let the people pay it off in segments, because I have friends that way that have no health care themselves. They can't afford it right now. So when they get hurt, they do go to the hospital, Haley, and they get fixed up.
You're missing the point. So people who have universal health care in other countries, part of their taxes kick into that. Okay. So when you go to the doctor, you're paying $20 for a fucking surgery. Here in the United States, we're screwed. Okay. Premiums are at an all-time high. A surgery here for anyone is thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. That sends you into medical bankruptcy. You're done.
Not bankruptcy. They will help write it off. But I do believe our medical is out of control. It needs.
What kind of magical write-off are you talking about?
Let's see, it was $500,000 or $600,000. I had a friend with a bill that high. It was an emergency. And they wrote it off and helped her with it.
Let me ask the three of you, do any of you or all of you know the difference between Medicare and Medicaid?
Mm-hmm.
You know the difference?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a professional political commentator for like the past 12 years. I'm very familiar.
Okay.
All right. So Medicare, Medicare is for people who have worked and contributed to the fund. If you never had a job, you don't deserve Medicaid or Medicare. You're on Medicaid, which that bill that you say, who forgives the bill? The hospital lets you walk through the emergency room for free. And you know who pays that bill? Me and your mother.
Okay.
Not always, I don't.
But listen, I'm cool with paying for people to have medical benefits. That doesn't bother me. So if we could live in a country where like we're all kicking in and everybody gets insured, I'm down for that. I don't want somebody to go to the hospital and not be able to get life-saving care. Like, I don't want that. Why do you want that?
I don't think there's a place like that now.
I don't care whether they do.
Every other place is like that.
Want to pay for it.
Every other country is like that. Like, we are the only country. We're unique in the sense that we have medical bankruptcy as a concept here in this country, and it is an incredibly costly endeavor because we don't have socialized healthcare in this country. We are we do. We have it for you, Bob. You get Medicare. It's one version of that, but even then, the entire reason why healthcare is as costly as it is because we have this parasitic middleman called healthcare providers, insurance providers, that are actually not working to make this cheaper at all. And as a matter of fact, they benefit from how costly healthcare is in general. If this entire industry did not exist, and it doesn't exist in many other countries, as a matter of fact, like I said, we are unique in the sense that we have private healthcare in the way that we do, and we have no alternative. We have no government alternative. That is the reason why healthcare is so costly in this country. So if we were to abolish the private healthcare sector in its entirety and have the government control this healthcare process, it would literally be cheaper for every single person, including yourselves. You would be paying less for your healthcare. Well, maybe not you guys because you're on Medicare, but you'd be paying less for your healthcare overall, and you would be paying it in the form of taxes, and everyone could just go to the hospital and get preventative care and not just only exhaust the hospitals at the point of no return when they have to use an emergency room.
Tell us about Obamacare then. Why was that not any good? And like premium sky high and...
Because Obamacare Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, was actually created, and this might come as a surprise to you guys, by Republicans in a right-wing think tank called the Heritage Foundation in the 90s, right? And it was first implemented by Romney in the state of Massachusetts. The reason why they created this healthcare system was because they wanted an alternative to socialized medicine. They wanted to make sure that we don't get Medicare for all. So they were like, here, this is the alternative. It's still a subsidy. It's still a subsidy to private insurance. I don't want private insurance to exist in the country. Or if it exists, I want it to be heavily regulated. And I want that private insurance to only cover things that are, like plastic surgeries or whatever, and not life-saving or preventative health care that everybody needs to get. This would make this process would make the entire system more affordable overall. It would be less costly, it would be more affordable, and it would be more efficient.
Okay.
But Dad, you're against that. We heard you while you're peeing say no, you don't want this.
I'm for having free insurance for people who've paid into the fund.
Okay, like taxes.
Beyond that, you've got an argument with me on who gets it and who don't.
But tell me then, why is Obamacare like they said now the premiums are like sky high?
Double, triple.
Yeah, the reason why is because they did not tackle the private function of healthcare. Healthcare makes money off of denying you healthcare coverage. You pay into it,
right,
and then they do everything in their power to make sure that they don't pay your hospital bill. That's how they make money. Okay, so it's working against your interests.
Is that Medicare?
No, just healthcare in general. I'm saying like private healthcare makes money.
We don't get denied anything in Medicare.
What did you? I'm sorry. What?
I said you're wrong about us having to pay extra for healthcare above and beyond what we're paying for Medicare. That's not true. That's a false statement.
There's some things that have to be pre-authorized though now.
But we get it all covered.
Okay, so yeah,
we're not dribbling out the back door
because we're old.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying everyone should pay into it with taxes, and obviously not like children or the elderly that are no longer working, but everyone should pay into it and have one major pool of tax funded healthcare that we take out of.
It won't change until Democrats and Republicans agree on it, and we'll be dead by then.
But there's also these powerful lobbyists that are in the medical insurance field that are paying all these politicians to make sure a bill like that would never pass. It's all about money and whose pocket can get greased so that this will never happen in this country. And you understand that Donald Trump is a part of that. All he cares about is money.
Okay, no. He cares about America.
No. What we just talked about the $500 million he's got parked at a bank account in Qatar that he got from selling the Venezuelan stolen oil. You don't think he cares about money?
Yes, so we can move it around.
Move it around for what though?
Bank account?
He's going to make sure it goes to the right place.
Benefit people.
There's a lot of belief in Trump. I'm wondering what he has done for you specifically that you feel like has improved your life specifically that makes you feel confident that he's got your best interest in mind.
Well, since he became president, we're making more money than we ever have in our life without working.
My gasoline was the cheapest
we're getting more. We're getting more Social Security. We're getting higher interest rates on our money that we have in the bank, and we're doing damn well.
See, what you have to understand is that they have zero empathy for others. So it's like a me. So as long as I'm benefiting, as long as I'm winning, that's all that matters. It's the same with healthcare. You guys are covered. You guys are insured. To hell with everyone else. You have this mental block where you just do not give a shit about anyone else.
You're fighting mad today, Haley, aren't you?
Dad's nodding. What do you mean? Dad's agreeing with her.
Every day. I live in this country and I read the news every day. I can't help but be mad.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
So
I care about other people.
You have alternatives. If America's not right for you, hit the road.
Where would you go, Haley?
Waiting for midterms to see how this goes.
You know what you do? You move to some country that's got health care for everybody and see how your lifestyle is.
I mean, that's Switzerland. I'd give anything to live there. That's Scotland. Name a Nordic country, name a European country. You're not understanding because you've never traveled outside this country. But there are places that are much better when it comes to healthcare.
Oh,
we've had this discussion before.
But then you got to put up with the rest of the bullshit, Dad, which isn't as good as here.
Don't listen to Dad.
The what's not as good as here?
Like constitutionalizing abortion in France, because I'm down for that. I live in Texas, one of the most oppressive states in the entire country.
You pick one thing that's good out of a country, and that's going to make you move there. That's not too bright.
I mean, I think a lot of stuff that's pretty good. Europe has its own issues as well, and so do these other countries. But there's a lot of stuff that their governments do right, and I think it's important to learn from those lessons and try to incorporate them here to make America great, like truly great. So, as far as like universalizing the pain, one angle that I wanted to talk about is homelessness, right? Like, there's a lot of homeless people on the streets, and I don't think anybody wants to see other human beings living out on the streets, right? Like, you guys don't like that, right? It shows that this is like a chaotic system.
Well, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So would you say that that is a byproduct of the government failing?
Not necessarily. I think there's a lot of other things that contribute to homelessness. Half those people are drug addicts, and they choose to be homeless. So I don't think you can blame that on the government.
Okay,
you
no
think
one
homeless people
chooses
choose
to be
homeless?
homeless.
One thing I would say the government did wrong with the homeless people is encourage them to be addicts over the last couple of years.
What?
They make up. They open up places where they can go in and get their drugs for free, and let them go out and lay on the
You're
street.
insane.
I mean, you look at San Francisco. Hell, they take a crap on the street.
He's talking about safe needle injection sites and things like that. They've actually been very successful, especially the mass distribution of Narcan under Biden, who I hate, by the way. Just so you know, that's not even a joke. I hate Biden. Wasn't a big fan of Kamala either. Not a big fan of the Democratic Party. But that's maybe an area that we can agree on. Having said that, of course, What?
Where do you stand?
I stand firmly outside of the American two-party system. I'm much further to the left than at least this current iteration of the Democratic Party.
This is something that we talk about on our show a lot too. Haley and I are very similar to that. And you guys always look at us and you're like, you love Biden, you're Democrats. And it's like, no, we're not really.
No.
We're just very much against Trump and very much not right. But the two-party system, Haley and I also think it just doesn't work. We're at a point where we're seeing the complete failure of it now and the ability for an authoritarian to come in and exploit it for personal gain. But you guys think we are like hardcore Biden supporters. That has never been the case.
Here's what I don't understand. Why you and Haley don't love the American flag. You don't have patriotism. Okay, now hush. Y'all laugh at this one. I sat at my father's funeral with the gun salute going off when they handed me the perfectly folded triangle flag for my father's service.
Yeah.
And that's gut-wrenching to me.
Sure.
That's
the reason you get to sit here and run your mouth.
I had so much pride that day. And that's the stuff that you guys will never feel. And that makes me sad.
That object. Sorry, Haley, go ahead.
There's I think innately, like within me, even since I was a kid, like stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. In my mind, I'm telling myself, you can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to follow this shit blindly.
Okay.
And so I
you were a rebellion a long time ago. You were
like
a
when
rebel.
you were like 6 or 7.
You're a rebel.
Woo.
You're a rebel.
You had a grip on it.
Okay. So
the flag is just a symbol, but it's interestingly in this country because of like burning of the flag is part of freedom of speech, but Trump says that should be outlawed and we're going to throw you in jail for it.
Not anymore, it isn't. You go to jail now, buddy.
Right. So Dad, 10 seconds ago, you were like, that's your freedom of speech. Now you're shitting on freedom of speech.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
This is not the country that I anticipated like raising children in. And again, like when I was younger, I didn't really pay attention to politics. But as I became older, became a parent, everything really clicked. And I started to recognize that this isn't the actual country I thought it was. And as I'm living through, again, Texas, one of the most oppressive states in the United States, I don't want to be here. I wake up every day with anxiety just reading another story about just atrocities happening right in my backyard.
How'd your kids turn out? In your opinion?
My kids are awesome.
All right.
And they grew up in Texas.
grew up in the United States of America.
And Texas.
Under our flag.
What?
You think the flag made them good kids?
No.
Okay.
It's under the flag of America.
Like pride
you
for your country.
You two don't even understand what that damn flag stands for.
Shouldn't have brought up
it isn't about you and your kids It's about the thousands
that died for our freedom.
Soldiers who have died
for our freedom
to let you sit here and run your mouth.
For our freedom.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the flag represents the people, right? Without the people, there is no nation. And I think it's the most patriotic thing you can do to want what's best for your country and want what's best for your fellow countrymen, right? Do we agree on that?
Yes.
It depends on who you consider to be my fellow countrymen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not everybody who resides in the United States is a fellow countryman to me.
Well, I think America actually is, here's another thing that I love about America. America actually is one of the few countries on the planet where what you're saying, Bob, is actually entirely incorrect. There is never, with the exception of, Native Americans that have been here before our forefathers got here, every single person in the United States of America that came to the United States of America that became, multiple generation Americans came from somewhere else, right?
Right.
That's correct, right, Bob?
Dad, what are you doing? You watching Newsmax? What's going on over there?
No.
You're staring into space?
I turned it off.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
But Bob, you agree with that, right? Like, I mean, your great grandparents probably came here at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
Where'd they come from?
Germany, Luxembourg.
Okay. And they became American and you became American as a part of that. And I think there's no difference between your great grandparents when they first came here and were regarded as being swarthy and not Anglican blood, as Benjamin Franklin once famously wrote about, when they were initially considered not real Americans. I'm sure they experienced some of that same exact bigotry that you're dishing out right now. But I think that's the beauty of America, is that people come in from all different parts of the world. And over 2 generations, they become American.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. So you believe that's what Somalia is up to right now? They're going to become second generation of patriot Americans?
They already have. Somali Americans are 95% American citizens.
Yeah, and they're all bad.
They're all bad. All Somalis are bad.
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think so, but I don't think there's a difference. Here's the big point of contention, right?
God.
I don't think someone coming from a different country and then coming to the United States of America has a different set of values or a different set of interests than someone like yourself. They all want a roof over their heads. They want a hot meal on their table. They want clothes on their back, and they want a better future for their children. And I think that is what unites all of us all around the world, as a matter of fact. Whether they're coming from Somalia or whether they're coming from Germany, it doesn't change that. It doesn't change that at all.
What'd you say, Dad?
I said, yeah, we're all getting along really well too.
You know what, though, when my great grandparents, they came across Ellis Island, all of that, they had to put down where they were going, where they were traveling, where they wanted to farmstead. Within, I think, 3 years, if I remember the story right, my grandmother said then they did have to say they were citizens. They wanted to become citizens and sign a document of something and know English. So
okay, that's really interesting you're saying that, because that's precisely what happened with the Somali population.
But
they're here for a wrong reason.
What do you think their reason
Bachelor
is?
reference.
I think they're here to actually cause chaos and corruption and take over the United States.
There sure is a lot of fraud in Minnesota.
And they're stealing money to get away with it.
And you think this is happening 100% blanket, as you said earlier, all of them are bad. You believe every Somali in the United States is part of this scheme?
I think they live in that neighborhood and they've got that mindset. Yes.
They're not all bad. He's wrong.
I don't know any of them.
Yeah,
but you know they're all bad?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
how
a
are you
single
coming to that
one.
conclusion? This is Newsmax.
Look, I started schools. You set up schools with no kids in them, get paid $800 a day per child. And what are they doing with that money? They're sending it back home.
Okay, well, they can do whatever they want with the money they make. I started watching Newsmax because of you guys. I watch it for about at least 10 or 15 minutes a day. All they're doing right now is just pumping that Somali fraud shit straight into your brains 24 hours a day. That's what and essentially their whole channel is doing that now. And you guys believe it because you're not watching anything else.
I need to switch gears here for a second because the thing that you're saying about Somalia is like you've seen one case of fraud, and it was actually a white woman that set the entire fraud thing up. It's called her name was Amy Bach. But yes, a lot of the co-defendants, the overwhelming majority of the co-defendants in this one specific case where they were taking money from the government to feed children, they were actually misattributing the funds and putting them back directly in their pockets. And the majority of the co-defendants were Somali. So that doesn't mean that all Somalis are engaging in this, just like Donald Trump is, of German descent. And he was responsible for he's criminally liable for fraud. But I don't think every single German American is also doing fraud in the same exact way. That's just one individual case. But the question I have for you is, who do you think is a larger burden on American taxpayers in terms of like constantly receiving funds and never giving back, Israel or Somalia?
Well, on a scale, it's got to be Israel.
Oh, okay. So I think we have another area of agreement here. What do you guys think about Israel?
I want to know.
You love them.
Oh, no.
The only thing that stand between us and Iran.
You know what? I'm not even going to talk. That's okay. Never mind.
What do you mean? Mom, you got something to say? Say it.
I don't think she likes Israel.
I think they had something to do with Charlie. I really think they had something to do with Charlie.
What do you think they had to do with it?
You've been watching that Candace Owens?
Yeah.
I do watch her, but just some things are just not adding up. I like at night sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll just start clicking on stuff and reading. I'm very sad. I'm very sad what happened to him. I don't think we're ever going to figure it out, or at least if someone knows, they're not going to tell us the truth. It scares me. Now that I don't know his wife, but some things are just not adding up now. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, another area of somewhat agreement. Okay, that's good. Bob, what do you think? You think Benjamin Netanyahu slimed Charlie Kirk?
Do I think he did what?
Slimed him, like he iced him. He killed him.
Analyzed him.
Oh, do I think that Netanyahu killed him?
Yeah.
I don't think Netanyahu necessarily killed him, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Israelis had something to do with it.
Okay.
Can I ask you this question too? I've asked this to a couple of my friends, and they're like, I don't know, Meredith. Why can we not say someone was killed anymore? We have to use that word unalive.
It's TikTok. It's TikTok because TikTok terms of service bans you if you say killed. I say killed. I was just joking when I said slimed. I say killed all the time. You can say whatever you want, just not on TikTok, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's cultural then. It's like a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm. But other than Charlie Kirk, other than your attitudes about Charlie Kirk and Israel's potential involvement in his assassination, you guys are huge supporters of Israel and everything they're doing right now.
Yeah, they have to be stronger than anybody else in the Middle East.
And
we have to maintain that.
Something's fishy with Charlie. You met Charlie, didn't you?
It's not about
I've debated him. Yeah, I debated him twice,
and
I was supposed to debate him before he got killed, maybe potentially by the state of Israel. I was supposed to debate him 2 weeks prior to his assassination.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yikes. So were you friends with him, you think? Or
no. Not even a little bit.
You didn't like his views or anything?
No, not even a little bit. I mean, back in the day, in private, I looked back at our back and forth conversations all the way back in like 2017, where he was actually very worried about how racist some Republicans were getting. He even told me that comparison between the Klan and Antifa is ridiculous. I believe he might have even written an article about it at the time, or said he was going to write one. But I think slowly but surely he also became that person that he was critical of. He would be considered woke by today's standards, at least back in 2017.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm not very fond of Charlie Kirk or his opinions. That's why I was going to debate him. But in any case, so you like that Israel got $300 billion in the last 80 years from American taxpayers?
Yeah, if you're asking me, the answer is yes.
Okay, you do. All right, got it. Okay. You don't think that those funds should have been appropriated to, you're fixing your infrastructure, paying for healthcare, paying for education, things like that?
Not above that. We need stability and somebody with a backbone in the Middle East, or we'll get run over.
So you don't actually believe America first?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
No, I think Bob is saying that Israel is like protecting America from scary Muslims, right? That's what you think, right, Bob? Is that what's going on?
No, it's just the Middle East, period.
Okay.
There are other people other than scary Muslims in the Middle East.
Yeah, no, scary Arabs, okay, and Muslims and Christians. So,
well, they've been fighting for hundreds of years.
That's also not true. But
it is. How long was the Crusades? How far back does that go?
Wait, what do you mean they? Do you think the Crusades were Arab infighting?
Christians against Muslims. It was Christians,
no, it was
against
Christians
Muslims.
against Muslims and Jews, ironically enough, or at least the Jews that were there at the time. But that was the Europeans. That was the Europeans coming into this area and trying to dominate it. Like European Christians.
Don't try to tell me that Christians and Muslims haven't been fighting for hundreds of years, because they have. Anything you got to say about that, that's contrary to that, is just a lie, and you're pulling it out of the air.
But that's not. I'm confused by this because the Crusades is one thing.
They're paper thin. There's nothing behind them.
No, the Crusades is totally irrelevant to when people say, "Oh, they've been fighting there for hundreds of years," right? They're usually talking about Jews and Muslims, because that's what this conflict has been reduced to, which is wrong. That's the wrong interpretation.
I don't know what other people are talking about. I'm talking about the Crusades, where Muslims were fighting Christians.
Yeah, because Christians were coming in to kill Muslims.
Those are hundreds of years ago.
Okay, but how is that relevant to Israel?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And so because of that, you're cool with $300 billion.
Why are you jumping over to Israel? What I'm telling you is Christians have been fighting Muslims for hundreds of years. That's a fact check. And you can sit here and blow smoke up your listeners' asses, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
No. But you brought it up.
Israel has nothing to do with the Crusades.
Wait, why'd you bring it up then?
Now we're at the point where we need somebody in the Middle East to keep a rein on everybody, and the only country we can count on is Israel.
Okay, I'm a little bit confused by what you're trying to say here, because we were talking about Israel. You brought up the fact that they've been fighting for hundreds of years. I asked who you mean by they. You said Christians who invaded the region. And that's a little bit confusing to me, because like what's going on in Israel right now is not relevant to the Crusades. I don't think so. I don't know why you brought it up.
Well, what you're doing is you're mixing two different stories.
No, you brought it up.
No, you are. You're mixing up two different stories. The Christians and the Muslims were fighting hundreds of years ago.
But Bob, I didn't bring up the Crusades. You did.
Israel state trying to maintain authority in a bad region.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand why you brought up the Crusades in this situation. I guess is it because like the Muslims, if they're not constantly being dominated, they'll like take over? Is that what it is?
No, they try to dominate Christianity. They're doing it now.
Okay.
You don't get that? If you don't get that, I don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
You think Muslims are trying to dominate Christianity?
Yes.
Where are they? In America, they're doing this?
It's happening everywhere. Starting in America right now.
It's starting in America right now.
It started in America. It started happening in America probably, I would say, year 1 or 2 of the Obama administration.
Oh. And you think Trump is fighting against it now? He's aware of it and fixing that problem?
Trying to stand up for it, yes.
Okay.
Wait, how do you feel about Trump being buddies with my buddy Zoran, who is Muslim. I'm Muslim too, by the way, but that's besides the point. But I am also. Matter. I am actually trying to do taqiyya, Bob. I don't know if you know what that is.
Don't know what it is. Are you trying to take over the country?
Yeah, I'm trying to take over the country. Yeah, I want to do.
Then I don't like you anymore.
Trying to make America great again.
Yeah, I'm trying to take over the country and do woke Sharia.
Oh,
yeah. You know how we got ICE agents right now? I want to make sure that they're all transgender ICE agents going door to door to make sure that everyone is saying their pronouns.
That's funny. I think we need to switch topics. Can I be the assistant here to switch?
What do you have something you want to say, Mom?
Do you have another topic? But it's none of this.
Okay.
What about those Clintons? They got subpoenaed, but they're not going to go. They both declined.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I hope
they need to be held accountable.
You know what I think about that?
Yes.
When I voted for Donald Trump illegally, in the state of Pennsylvania, even though I don't reside there,
how did you do that?
I looked through, I scoured the database in residence homes, like old folks homes, and I wrote in someone else's name that had just passed away. I had a bunch of undocumented immigrants send me. Yeah, I had a bunch of a network of undocumented immigrants in Pennsylvania, and they gave me the details.
Know that got counted?
What?
He's teasing.
Yeah, how do you know that vote got counted?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't, but Trump won, luckily. But what I was trying to say is in 2016, when I voted for him illegally, I was very disappointed because he said lock her up, and he didn't end up locking her up at all.
He didn't. He felt sorry for her.
Yeah, that was messed up. I think he should have locked her up.
I do too. I really do. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do. And Bill Clinton too.
Well, he did different things. Yeah, now we're finding
out all
kinds
shot
of
at
things.
it.
You guys, the Clinton thing is they're subpoenaing them over Epstein files shit. You guys are so up the ass. Oh, these Clintons, they're trying to dodge the subpoena, blah, 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 blah. But you don't give a shit about the fact that the DOJ is now criminally breaking the deadline of when they were supposed to release all the Epstein files. And they keep coming out every other week. Oh, we found 50 million more Epstein files, but they're releasing none of them. You don't care about that at all.
We talk about this every time on our podcast. Yes, they need to be released, all of it. And if Bondi's not going to do it, get her ass out of there and get somebody in that will.
Well, but Trump is protecting him. Trump is protecting Bondi.
That's what Todd said. Here's what I think. I think it's somebody over Trump's head. Who did we talk about before?
Shadow government type of shit?
Israel. I think there are players in this way above Trump.
You think it's Netanyahu doesn't want the Epstein files released?
I think there's players way above his head not wanting it released from other countries.
Shit.
Okay. I mean, Israel is all over the Epstein files. This is true. Not Benjamin Netanyahu, but former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, is a close and personal best friend of Jeffrey Epstein. And he was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein all the way up until like 2016, 2017. A tranche of emails have been released that detail the long relationship that Jeffrey Epstein has had, not only with the state of Israel, but also with key figures in the United Arab Emirates as well, which is another big player in the region and aligned with Israel. So all of that stuff. So Israel is seemingly dominating America in many very meaningful ways, right? And yet Bob still says we got to give him $300 billion. What's going on there, Bob?
No, there's nothing going on. We're trying to get Israel strong.
Get them strong. Do you look at what they're doing on the world stage right now and think they're weak?
Right.
I think they are right now demonstrating their strength. But prior to that, I think there's a lot of people in the Middle East that didn't think they'd ever pull the trigger.
No, I think everyone in the Middle East knew that they were continuously pulling the trigger. That's why they've been resisting against Israel for 80 years now.
Not in a big way. They can put a hell of a lot more heat on that region.
Wait, Israel can? Is that what you're saying?
In what way?
Yeah.
You're talking about nuclear war or something?
Yeah, whatever they want to do.
Okay. So you would be fine with Israel dropping a nuclear bomb?
On Iran.
Okay.
So you want Israel to bomb Iran. So, but like But as far as like Israel, you know, basically using American politicians like a flesh puppet, like you're fine with that. You don't think that is part of the reason why they get $300 billion over the course of the past 80 years?
That's probably the reason they did get it.
Okay.
I wish Iran would take care of their own business. I don't want to get involved there. I don't think our United States should get involved with Iran. They need to take care of their own business. I'm sad for the people that are getting killed there, the protesters and whatever is going on there. I'm very sad, but we don't need to get involved in that one. They need to take care
Mom.
of their own.
Yeah.
All right.
But Trump is saying that he wants to get involved. He's making open threats of getting heavily involved. So you're against Trump in that way.
I don't agree with everything he does, but he's my president, so I support him.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want him to go into Iran.
Okay. Would you be in support? You said you want Iran to take care of its own business. I agree with you there. It's non-interventionist policy, even though we have been intervening in Iran's business for quite a while, including, but not limited to, these crippling sanctions that we've put on the Iranian government that has destroyed its economy. Outside of the state being very repressive and killing protesters and things like that, and following, you know, some very rigid rules that people are obviously very dissatisfied with, the sanctions have played a big role. Would you be in favor of reducing the sanctions, as if Iran said, we're not going to build any more nuclear weapons, we're not even going to attempt to do that? Would you be fine with that?
Yes, I would.
What about you, Bob?
Nope, because I don't trust them.
I was going to say, I'm not sure we could trust them.
You can't, anything that comes out of their mouth, you can just wipe your butt with it.
So what if you had Americans that would go into these nuclear facilities, or maybe like international, like a bunch of international agencies that could go into Iran and look at these facilities to make sure that they're not like enriching uranium?
No, international agencies, no. They did that before.
Then Americans.
Look what happened.
Americans.
American.
Yeah, if they were American scientists that we know we can trust, I'd go for that.
Okay. What would you say if I told you that Barack Obama did exactly what you just agreed to? It was called the JCPOA. In exchange for sanctions relief, there was an agreement that was set forth in Iran.
$7 billion in cash. I got it.
Didn't he give him the count?
No, that's not what we're talking about. That was Joe Biden. But that was their own money anyway. We
No,
were
you're
stopping.
wrong. You are dead wrong on that. That pallet of cash came from Mr. Obama.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were talking about the $6 billion of frozen funds that that Joe Biden unfroze. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. So Barack Obama did exactly what you said would be a positive improvement for our relationship with Iran.
And it didn't work. So I'm not going to try it again.
No, it actually was working, as a matter of fact. It was actually so successful until Donald Trump came in at the behest of Israel and threw that aside.
Your fault. Hit me in the face with a board twice, my fault.
That's George
So
W. Bush said that.
I'm not giving Iran a second chance. I'm not giving Iran a second chance.
Okay,
I want word of
All right, Bob. I'll let the Ayatollah know that you're not giving Iran a second chance. So, but Donald Trump is actually giving Iran a second chance, as a matter of fact. This was a double trick question, as a matter of fact, because Donald Trump is now saying that he wants to he wants to give Iran sanctions relief in exchange for a denuclearization agreement that they can get on board with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's giving him one more chance, and then he's going to smack him again.
So you agree with that then?
What? That we should send American scientists in?
Yeah.
So you agree with Donald Trump setting forth a deal in exchange for sanctions relief so that Iran can participate in the global economy and get medicine for their children and get food and do normal trade,
I would agree to it.
that they will engage in denuclearization.
But it won't take them 2 months before they break the deal.
But they didn't do that last time. And as a matter of fact, Donald Trump was the one who ripped apart the deal because Obama had presented it. And now he's literally doing the same deal potentially.
You're tricking us again.
No. This is actually something that he brought up today.
It's like, you guys think everybody's trying to fucking trick you. Trump is tricking you. At every turn,
Yeah.
he's taking your money. He's saying this thing Obama did is bad. Then he does the same thing and you love it. Huh?
We can't see your face on the camera because I don't know. I got something weird on the computer. Dad goes, I'm glad we can't see your face.
Okay, great.
Okay. That's
Okay.
nice.
Okay, so it's not actually a trick if you're consistent, right? If you have if you believe that it wouldn't be considered a trick if you agree with both presidents moving in this direction, but it only becomes a trick because there's an inconsistency here where you think when Obama did it, it was bad, but when Trump is doing it, it's good. That's when it becomes a trick. And it's not even a trick at all. It's actually to arrive at a consistent position.
The difference is Obama dumped $147 billion in cash on their back porch. We're not giving them any money. We're just saying, okay, we might let you sell a little bit of oil, and we'll give you a couple, 3 months to see whether you stick to the deal.
It was frozen assets from oil.
No, we're going to bomb the piss out of you.
No, it's actually frozen assets from Iran selling oil that we froze, that we allowed them to get back.
$500 million in Qatar.
What? What about Qatar?
Isn't that where he sent the money?
Are you talking about Obama or are you talking about Biden? Who are you talking about?
I think you're talking about the Venezuelan oil that he sold.
I'm talking about Trump. Catch up.
Okay.
Okay, but that's not. Are you talking about Venezuelan oil revenue? Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah. I think that's what he's talking about.
Okay. I'm Bob. Your mind is working too fast for me. I'm a dumb commie. So it's just hard. I apologize. So.
Well, you're certainly no accountant. I can see that.
Very good.
How about, I'm going to switch gears. That's okay. I'm acting like I'm the assistant.
Stick to what you're doing.
I'm the assistant host here. What about that, the Medal of Freedom that Obama gave to...
Tom Homan?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
I hate Tom Homan. And I also am not exactly too fond of Obama either.
Okay,
I don't like Obama either. I should have mentioned that.
When Trump tries to acknowledge,
you like anybody?
No.
You got my dad to laugh. That's rare.
That's the two different parts I didn't see in that. Obama can give him the Medal of Freedom, and everybody clapped and cheered.
No, I was booing. I was booing back then. I was around. As a matter of fact, I was a political commentator all the way back in like 2016 and even before then, and I was very critical of Barack Obama's dealing with what at the time was presented as the immigrant crisis. And you asked me, Bob, if I like some presidents. I think as far as American presidents go, it's a mixed bag always, right? But FDR was pretty solid. I would say that Abraham Lincoln was pretty solid, and that's pretty much it. It's a short list.
You don't like anybody who's alive.
Oh no! I mean, as far as current American presidents that are alive, no, I don't. And I didn't like Carter either. For the record, I was not fond of Carter. He brought about neoliberalization in this country even before Ronald Reagan did.
Right. Yeah.
Who do you want to see as the next president? What's your pick right now?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm not asking them. I already know the answer.
Oh, okay. I actually don't know because right now we have a crowded field. I definitely do not like Gavin Newsom.
Correct.
I mean, people are talking about Jon Stewart. I don't know what his policies would look like. There's people in my chat saying AOC. Obviously, I'm fond of AOC. I know AOC personally. Mm-hmm. I wish she would be more of a fighter. I wish she would be more aggressive in her commentary and in the way that she talks about these issues. She's definitely one of the better candidates in general. But I don't have any clear this person should be leading America right now. I don't have a pick for that at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jon Stewart actually going to run? I've seen that rumor online, but really?
Jon Stewart?
You don't think it's going to be JD?
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, Trump, really? At this point.
Yeah,
I think
you guys
JD
want Trump
Vance
again, right?
is tougher than Trump.
What's that?
I think JD Vance would be even more tough than Trump.
Nobody's voting for JD Vance.
Nobody
JD Vance is not going to win.
Him.
I think Tucker Carlson is probably a better spiritual successor to Trumpism than JD Vance. You guys like Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, well, I don't know. He's doing different things now. I don't know.
Like what?
He's a little too.
Not like he used to be. He's
a
going
little
more
too
your
liberal
way.
for you.
You think he's going my way? I think it's just because he's
going your way.
anti-Israel. That's probably the reason why it's being presented as like a bad thing. But you're anti-Israel.
Congratulations to J.D. Vance. They're going to have a fourth little baby running around the White House.
But Mom and Dad, you guys want to see Trump as the president again, right?
No, we do not. I have told you that. He's too old.
You're lying
Don't you
right
have
now.
a hat
You've
that
said
like
this a
has
million times on our
2028
show.
on it?
Oh,
No.
you guys are doing so much shit today because we're on
I
this
can't
nice
believe
podcast.
this. You're literally lying, and I don't know why.
I'm backing chat up. This is bullshit.
shit.
You're fucking gaslighting. Gaslight.
We've done
That's
every time he
untrue.
comes out and he's like, I know the Constitution says I can't run, but I'm gonna run anyway. Every time he says that shit, you guys are like, I'd love to see it. You fucking backed up that we don't even need midterms, Dad.
Yes,
Oh
you
my
did.
goodness. I'll go back on one of our old podcasts that we did. I said, no, I do not want him to run again or be our next president. He's
That's
had
a lie.
enough. He's done.
That's a
Okay,
lie.
I'll find it on the side.
Find it.
Yeah,
I
find
dare
it.
you.
Send me that
I'll
clip.
Find it.
I'll cue it up.
You're gonna make this
All right.
with AI, I'm sure.
Okay, so
Go put your big cowboy hat back on.
yeah, no, this one's good for now. It's too heavy on my head. I can't wear the crown like that. It's disrespectful to my goat, my legend Donald Trump. So Bob, you have been noticeably quiet. Do you think Donald Trump should be the next president again?
No.
Oh, okay. All right,
You're
good.
lying.
So you think J.D. Vance will be able to carry on the flame?
Oh, I think he's going to be tougher on the left than Donald Trump ever dreamed of being.
Wow.
And I'm not positive he will be the Republican nominee anyway.
There is no
Yeah,
MAGA
we're on
without
video.
Donald Trump. There
Yeah.
is no MAGA. Once he's gone, it's over. Like,
You're not gonna buy a
Vance
J.D.
does
Vance
not
Bible and
command
J.D.
that
Vance
audience.
cologne.
So wrong.
Look,
Our buddy over here is going to be wearing either J.D. Vance or Rubio cowboy hat
Eyeliner.
next.
Rubio.
you think Marco Rubio is gonna be the president?
God, he's so sweaty.
Oh my
I like
God.
him.
He's
People
got-
do like him.
He's not. Trump has this cult of personality thing. You guys are victims to it. That's how he was able to do this. Maybe with a little help from Elon Musk tweaking the numbers by hacking shit. Who knows? But JD Vance doesn't have that. Marco Rubio, no one in the Republican Party has that thing Trump has.
Tucker Carlson does, I think. That's why I said
Really?
Tucker is the
God, I
spiritual.
don't know.
That's why I said Tucker Carlson is the spiritual successor, but he's too anti-Israel. I think that's a big problem for a lot of people in the base of support. But other than that, he is more charismatic, has a better telegenic presence than JD Vance does. JD Vance is too much of a brown noser.
I don't know. I think Tucker Carlson is like, he's a little bit of a dweeb. There's something about him that
But
doesn't.
so is JD Vance.
Totally.
He's so
But
weasel.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think either one of them do the same thing to like
You
the
don't
MAGA
think
base that Trump
AOC's
does.
a dweeb?
No, they love her.
She was a damn
AOC?
barkeep. for God's
I
sake.
fucking love AOC. I'm voting for her every time. I love
I know
it.
you would.
What
Wait,
about
why don't you
Kamala?
like AOC?
You got a brain the size of a peanut.
Is
Yeah.
Kamala coming back?
Jesus Christ.
She has an econ
Oh,
degree
coming
from
back.
Brown, I think.
No,
right? Brown.
he has a degree from Boston
Or
University.
Boston University. Sorry, not Brown. Well, also a
There
very
you
good
go.
college. Thank you. Wow, you know
Oh, it
AOC
is.
better than I do.
Yeah. What do you think of Boston University, Dad?
Yeah, let me fucking hear that real quick.
Not much.
What?
Oh, it's
Why
woke.
do you guys bring up personal stuff like that on the podcast?
I don't think much
that
of
we
that.
have guests on.
Lay it right on your lap, Chad. I don't think it's a very good school, period.
For reference, one of my children just got into BU, so
Oh,
We're happy for her. I wish her the best
but
of luck.
it's
I hope
woke.
she's happy.
It's woke now. I mean, it was woke back then too, right? Is that what it is? They're indoctrinating the kids.
No, you're talking about.
I
I don't think you get a very good education.
I think, well, it's just very
I think it's too
Well-
expensive for what you come out the back door with. Your lovely AOC went to the same school, and she became a bartender as soon as she graduated.
Yeah, don't you think that's a problem with the current system that we're operating under though? Like the fact that you go to college, you get a college education, and then you can't
You have
actually
more-
get
you have
gainful
more
employment.
support.
What's
Yes.
up?
You have my full support.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Also,
think colleges are overrated, and you don't need to go to one.
I think our education system is just terrible.
I think it's a prestige thing, which absolutely pays you shit when you get out the back door.
yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, which is why I want free college, as is the case in many other countries. As a matter of fact, in a lot of these other countries, they sometimes even pay you to go to college. Did you know that,
Well,
Bob?
I wish they would pay her.
Yeah, I wish free colleges would be here, and I wish our whole education system could be
I
revamped.
agree
Okay.
with you there. Our education system sucks.
They're woke. Your parents are woke.
But this is not real. I remember when we
Your
were.
parents are woke.
They're not. They're
They
doing
want
a little
Medicare-
weird woke
They want
bit.
Medicare for all, and they want free college. They are Bernie voters.
They
You know
aren't
what?
though. I remember when the whole student loan forgiveness thing was going down. We did multiple episodes about that, and you guys
Yeah.
were fucking against it. Dad, you
You
were
were
like, "You gotta
pissed
pay. If you got that
because-
degree, you gotta pay."
Wait, that's the old
Well,
them.
we're-
The new parents. They're
Yeah.
on board.
You did
right,
this.
wait
You
a
turned
minute.
them woke just today. It
We're talking
happened
about
right here on
paying-
this
we're
very
talking
show.
about paying- Ask Chad and Haley how much they paid for their school.
Yeah, we don't
For their
need to
college.
do personal stuff on a damn
Yes,
podcast. Stop
we
it.
have discussed
They're
this
dropping
at length on our show
zero.
too. You guys helped
This is
us
what they
with
paid
our
for their
student
college.
loans. What's that?
Here's what you paid for your college.
Okay, stop.
Big zero.
Stop. My
But
God.
imagine,
We also had
imagine,
scholarships. We are very grateful for
Yeah.
your financial aid,
Yeah.
helping us pay off our student loans and all that.
And what did you do with that degree, Chad? All you do is podcast now.
I know.
That's
It's
right.
I'm
believe
with
me,
you, Bob. I'm with you.
My dad doesn't like anything that I do professionally, and for the first 15 years, I was selling TV shows and shit, and I'd still get a call from him once a week. Why aren't you gonna hang this shit up and come do natural gas with me? And I'm like, this is my career, Dad. I'm gonna stay here in LA.
Wait, propane and
I don't
propane
know
accessories?
why you trade natural gas.
Stop it.
I
Hell
never
yeah.
once invited you to trade natural
Yes,
gas.
you did.
First of all,
Yes, you did.
I don't think you'd be worth shit at.
Yes, you did. We are very proud of both of
Your
you.
dad is
I'm not
Hank
even
Hill.
listening to his bullshit today.
I know.
We love you both. We're very proud of both of you. Haley has her own business. Chad's doing his thing with podcasting. He's a genius. He knows how to do it. He's trying to train me to be a
Why am
podcaster.
I not
on
a
the road.
genius?
You're a genius in the bakery business, how to bake things and how to market things. But I'm scared because you crossed the line there with your resist and all that. That scares me.
Wait, what do you mean?
With your
It's a very American thing to resist against, tyrannical governments, even if it's our own government that's behaving like a tyrant. No, that's the whole basis for the Second Amendment.
Until you get death threats and things like that, which we all have gotten. And that's the part where I get scared. Okay.
I get
good
death threats
emails.
all the time as well.
I get the
Unfortunately,
good
it's just
ones, like, yeah,
Well, if you'd put your cowboy hat back on, you might get a couple more.
you get a couple good ones.
wait. You
couple
think
good ones.
you think people? I don't think that right wingers send more or left wingers send more death threats than right wingers. I mean, obviously, in your situation is a little different because you're mostly receiving them from what I presume is left wingers, but
100%.
But the reality of the matter is, it's actually right wingers by and large that are responsible for a metric ton of the political violence on U.S. soil. I mean, it was a guy who was. I mean, Donald Trump has been shot at, or his attempted assassin Ryan Ruth, even though he was a NATO guy, he voted for Trump back in the day.
When Chad started the podcast, I got the call in the kitchen. He goes, "Mom, you think you'd want to do this? Could you and Dad do this with me once a week?" I was like, maybe. His exact words.
I
Some
think
people
Bob's
will
jealous of
like
the
it a
hat.
lot.
There you are.
Yay!
I think Bob is jealous he doesn't have this rare Trump merch. That's why he keeps
kinda
bringing it
am.
back.
You might have to
kinda
mail
am.
that to us.
I might want that.
Okay, so Chad said some people will like you and Dad a lot. Some people will hate you. Will you be able to deal with that? That they're not going to like you at all? I said, yeah, they're going to love me. Yeah. I don't even show him some of the emails I get. They're bad. But then I get some good ones, and I appreciate those.
I mean, I get the most vile shit you can imagine, and it's just plastered across all
love
social
that,
media
yeah.
platforms for everyone to see.
He loves it.
I get all kinds of shit.
It scares me. I know. Not
Wait,
the
Bob,
hat,
you
but
like
it-
when Haley's getting death threats? No, you don't like that.
No.
No.
But you have said I deserve it. You say I deserve it because I like to run my mouth.
Dad, you've said on our show when last January, when California, LA specifically, was under threat of all those wildfires, you told me that I deserved to die in them because I was here, making the choice to live in Los Angeles.
You know he doesn't mean that, but we don't like you living in Los Angeles. That is the truth.
Okay, sure.
But you guys haven't even been out to visit him, and I don't know how long. I have recently.
15 years.
He lives in a really nice neighborhood. It's not like he's living in the middle of riots.
We've been to his neighborhood. It's very nice.
Look at him making the hat go.
I know. I like the hat.
I like it too. I like it too.
Keep popcorn in his mouth. Is that gum or mints?
What are you eating?
No, it's Zyn. Because I'm a real American. And
Dad, you'd like Zyn. You need to start doing Zyn, Dad.
It's nicotine pouches. It's nicotine pouches.
Why aren't you spitting it out somewhere?
Because it's not. It's not snus. It's not like it's not lip.
Tobacco.
It's not the same. Yeah, it's not tobacco. It's just nicotine pouches, so you don't have to spit it.
You're not worrying about cancer.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to live fast and die young and have a handsome corpse.
There you go.
Yeah. That's why I'm in this business where right-wingers tell me they want to kill me all the time. But in any case, getting back to it, so you're in favor of free college. You're in favor of free college, free trade schools as well, right? I assume that comes with the territory.
Wait a minute. I didn't say free college.
Yeah, we did.
What I said is you don't need to go to college to get a degree that pays you shit.
Yeah, but you guys also.
I never once said free college.
Oh, so you don't want free college?
What I did say about free college is those two people on your podcast here, they got free college.
Okay, but
I think you can get a great job without a college degree. A great job.
So here's the question though. So you don't want free college, Bob? Like why is it that you don't want free college? Why do you want Americans to not be competitive in the international marketplace? Like why do you want our labor force to be less educated?
I think if you pay enough for college, it can be worth it. But paying $300,000 or $400,000 for a fucking bartender's degree is stupid.
No.
You're just attacking AOC.
I don't understand what you're trying to say though, Bob, because like what if you didn't have to pay for it? As a matter of fact, you don't have to pay for it in many other countries.
You are misunderstanding what I'm saying. Most parents, and especially if there's two of them and they're working, can afford to spend, $150,000 on a college education for one of their children.
Mm-hmm.
But those same two people can't afford $300,000 or $400,000 for one child to go to college at a school that will absolutely bankrupt them when they get out.
Okay, but how about a third option, right? Which is an option that exists in many other countries where they don't have to. Yeah, free. What's the problem with that?
I don't think you do it for free.
Well, why not?
Somebody has to save up and get that money to go to school and get an education from a university that means something.
But what? Can you tell me why? Because it's not technically free. It's still paid for with taxes and subsidies.
Think the reason why you guys feel this way is because that's what you had to do, and you don't want to see anybody have it easier than you had it.
Yeah, it's why you didn't want. It's why you didn't want loan forgiveness. You're like, well, if I had to work for this shit, you got to also. It's like, you don't believe in the betterment of America. You just want the betterment for yourself, and it's a selfish outlook. Like, why wouldn't you want other generations to come up and be able to go to school without being in debt? Why wouldn't you want that? That makes a better America.
It allows freeloaders to be freeloaders.
If you're going to college,
freeload for
you
education?
Want to learn.
Yeah.
If it's free, you're a freeloader.
Education is education, Bob.
But you still have to get into the college. You still have to go through the application process and be approved, all of this stuff. So it's like if you want to go to Harvard or something, it's still going to be a very stringent application process. It's going to be hard to get into that school. It's not. What's that, Mom?
The student loan forgiveness thing was, it took us years to pay back both of your colleges. We worked hard for that amount of money to pay back your colleges for us to do that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, you don't have to pay them back anymore.
Okay,
So
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question.
You don't understand.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. So, sorry to cut you guys off. But Bob, let me ask you a real quick question. So, first of all, you pay for high school as well through your taxes, and I don't think you have a disagreement there. But let's say, God forbid, there was a health scare that you had, and you had to go through, rigorous cancer treatment, right? Chemotherapy and all this stuff, and it was you suffered quite a bit throughout that process, and then there was a cancer vaccine or a cancer treatment that was invented. Would you say, oh, don't give everybody else this cancer vaccine because I had to go through chemotherapy, so everyone else should go through chemotherapy as well? You wouldn't say that, right?
No, total different story.
No.
Why is that a totally different story?
Because you're not asking me to pay for something that's already out there.
You're talking about your health, and then you're talking about an education.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, education is very important for the health of the nation, because we're talking about making America great, right? Because that's what I want as on my hat. That's what I want to do. I want to make America great again, right? So
I do too.
The health of the nation requires there to be a well-educated population.
Right.
Right? We agree?
But we let 20 million illegal immigrants that have no education just flood the market.
Oh my God. What?
Okay. Well, we're not talking about immigrants right now, but we can get to that in a second.
Education. Back and forth to whatever you're doing.
Wait, no, I'm just staying on topic because we're talking about free college. We're talking about why it is a must to have educated citizens. Because I'll tell you something, right? So Donald Trump, for example, and this pertains to the immigration stuff as well. Donald Trump wanted to open up factories, right? Donald Trump wanted to open up factories, and Joe Biden played a role in this as well. There was a Korean factory that was opening up, right? And in the process of building this factory, they had to bring in immigrant workers to build these precise machines that Americans are going to be working on, right? But unfortunately, Americans could not fill that need in the Hyundai facility because they had not gotten the proper education prior. This is a consequence of not funding our educational initiatives and therefore having to make up for it by bringing in migrant workers to fill that need so that Americans can work in that factory in those facilities later down the line.
You're talking about blue collar jobs.
Yeah. The blue collar jobs that Americans will take on eventually.
That's got nothing to do with the college we were talking about before.
We're talking about precise. We're talking about precise manufacturing and like equipment that needs a lot of highly specific technical skills.
We could open some schools and do that stuff if we weren't spending $400,000 or $500,000 to send our kids to Harvard to get a piece of shit paper and have no job when you get out. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you how smart you got to be to go to Harvard. Are you a big fan of George W. Bush?
Okay.
He barely crawled out.
Got him zing.
He barely crawled out of Harvard with a degree.
I don't care about Ivy League schools at all. I don't think that says anything. And a lot of rich kids like George W. Bush get into places that they normally wouldn't have been able to get into, but their parents actually pay for like the wing of a library or whatever, and then they end up going to Harvard. I mean,
can I ask
Trump is a great example. I mean, he went to Wharton Business School, but only because his parents were very wealthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Where did you go?
Who paid for your school?
I did.
Okay.
Good.
I got a lot of scholarships, and my parents took out student loans at my behest, and I was very fortunate that I was able to make a lot of money. And not only did I pay for my own student loans, I paid for the student loan debt relief for my entire family as well, including my parents.
That's good. That's good.
You get applause for that.
I like that.
Yeah, but despite the fact that I paid for my entire family's student loan debt, I still am very much in favor of making sure that no one else has to go through that process at all, because it shouldn't be up to someone getting incredibly lucky like myself and winning big in this lottery system to be able to get a good education, because I think every American should be well educated. If they want to go to college, they should be able to go to college and not have to worry about the cost. If they want to go to trade school, they should be able to go to a trade school and not have to worry about the cost. But unfortunately, neither party in this two-party system that we have actually wants to do that. And Trump, unfortunately, I hate to burst your bubble here, Bob, but he doesn't want to do that either.
Yeah.
Well, I know he doesn't.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Wow.
We agree with you on this part.
What?
Okay.
Thank you. This is unreal.
They're woke.
Wow.
I'm telling
You're
you, they're
turning
woke.
them, dude. I don't know
Having
what to
some
tell-
breakthroughs.
This is insane. I can't believe this.
They're going to be Maoist third worlders by the end of this conversation. So that's the thing.
I
Like
like
they're
you much better with the hat on.
We
Yeah,
like
it's
your
the hat that's doing it.
yeah, that's probably what it is.
It's like it's scrambling their brain, and the shit you're saying is actually getting in.
Yeah, no, it's because like I don't care about party affiliations. I don't care about who a person is. They can even be a bad person, but they can technically be a good president. Like Jimmy Carter, good person, horrible president in general. It's how most American presidents work, unfortunately. So I care more about impact. I care about policy, and I care about improving the lives of every single American, regardless of what they believe, even if they don't want it. And that's the reason why I advocate for Medicare for all and free college and things like that, and even a government government sponsored jobs program as well, like a federal jobs guarantee.
Dad had a question earlier that he wanted to say. I know. Is he going back to the bathroom?
Yes, restroom break. I'll be right back.
He had some kind of question he was trying to get through earlier. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he can. Can he still hear us? Can he issue the question from the bathroom?
No, he can't hear us.
All right.
No, it's all good. You're woke already. Don't let Bob tell anybody otherwise.
This is something that we talk about on the show with some frequency.
Do not use pronouns.
Yeah.
No way in hell will I use pronouns.
No,
What?
but like your kind of innate persona, Mom, I do think is much more left leaning. And I think you're just in an environment where Newsmax is playing 24 hours a day, and the kind of political news cycle has gotten to the point it's gotten over the past, 10 years or so. And I think it has brainwashed you.
I'm just more kind. I'm more kind than your dad. I'm willing to lean a little bit to help other people. I love people.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like a lot of people right now. I'd rather be around my animals than people, but I don't want people to suffer. I don't want to see people killed. I don't like that.
But that's what I'm saying. The guy sitting in that chair next to you very usually does want to see suffering and people killed. He thrives on it. He has glee from that. And I think that affects you when you have to live with this guy since, what were you saying, 50 years you guys have been married, you know?
I know him very well. He says a lot of shit he doesn't mean. He says a lot of shit he doesn't mean.
No, he means this shit.
Come back. We'll finish the show. We're almost done. He's done pretty good, I think.
Yeah, no, Bob is woke. Bob is, I'm gonna, when our Muslim woke Sharia happens, Bob is going to be one of the Fedayeen. He's going to be fighting hard in the protectorate of Oklahoma. He's going to be going door to door, making sure everyone's saying their pronouns correctly.
You guys have said on our show multiple times that you are ready to, quote, fight in the Civil War.
Yeah, on our side.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How many bathroom breaks are you going to have to take when you're out in the streets fighting in the Civil War, Dad?
One. Because I'm gonna keep shooting until they get me.
Okay.
That is one thing. We are old, okay? We have at the most, I'm saying 8 good years of
when
our
I
lives
lock and load, it's going to the death.
I think the way you guys think, because you're young, we're old. So when you get to the end like we are, we start thinking a little different. We really do. Like every day is a gift to wake up and be alive. So if somebody is out there doing something in the street to a young kid or an animal that I don't like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say something. I don't know if I'd pull a gun or anything, but
ICE agents, would you intervene? If you saw ICE like nabbing a kid, would you intervene?
If I saw them hurting a child or an animal in any way,
whoever's
out there, I'm going to intervene.
Tracy Nolan killed her puppy. The Department of Homeland Security secretary, she shot her puppy in the head and then dumped the puppy's body in a landfill. You guys like her?
No, I did read that.
Yeah, that was not good.
We don't agree with that.
Dad,
That's
you
ridiculous.
said you didn't. We talked about this on our show, and you said you didn't care because you grew up on a farm and saw shit like that all the time.
You're right. I didn't. Now, there you go again, putting words in my mouth.
Y'all are putting on.
I think your parents are
putting on a
Chad.
bullshit show.
I think they are. They're putting on a little show here today.
I think he just wants to own the libs, and you're too libbed up. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
I need a med bed.
Yes.
You guys don't listen. You just roll your eyes and do whatever you want.
Yeah, med beds for all. I think I would love a med bed as well. I think everybody needs a med bed. But, since that's technologically not available right now, the next best thing probably would be to make sure that the current healthcare system that we have is treating everyone, right?
I think it is. I think it is all right.
Yeah, okay. Without medical debt that you have to pay for. Because there are a lot of people that will refuse to take medication because it's too costly. I know people that have a hard time paying for medication, like diabetes medication and things like that, where they just choose not to take it because they can't pay for it. And I think that kind of stuff should. Wrong. Yeah, that's not right. That should be. Okay, great. Okay, so we're on board. You want Medicare for all as well. Like it kind of feels like it.
I mean, everybody in our family has gone through some pretty traumatic medical shit. Literally every one of us. If we didn't have good health insurance, we'd be done.
I would say good health insurance. Listen, you have to be wealthy, even if you have health insurance in this country. I'm talking about you got to pay deductibles that go all the way up to $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 before it kicks in. That's fucking insane. You are fucked in this country if you do not have money, even if you are insured.
I disagree. My friend that I've told you about, her daughter had an ATV wreck. Boom, bad wreck. The whole arm was ripped off. Bad. She had no insurance. That child was fixed. She was fixed. They did all kinds of surgeries. It was over $500,000, and then it was written off.
Medicare.
No, it wasn't Medicare.
Medicaid.
She had to pay part back, but the child was taken care of. So which children are not being taken care of?
Yeah, but it's that's life-changing money that they have to pay, right? And that's actually inefficient anyway, because if there was Medicare for all, if we had a socialized healthcare system, that bill wouldn't be $500,000 to begin with, and there would be no bill at all, as a matter of fact, and they wouldn't have to worry about that. They wouldn't have to worry about the medical debt that might come along with this life-saving healthcare procedure that they had to get.
Yeah, I totally believe it needs to be revamped. It's not good. It's not good for
if that system that you believe actually existed, why would anyone have health insurance at all? Wouldn't we all just be going to the hospital whenever we want and write it off?
Yeah.
That would be the ideal world, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Whatever your anecdote is, I don't think actually is getting to the reality of what the situation is.
Okay, no, I think they're on board. I'm telling you. I mean, even Bob is kind of coming to our side here on this healthcare conversation. Yeah, he says no now, but maybe tomorrow he's gonna be like, you know what? I thought about it, and I think that's a good thing, right? Overall health of the nation. Because listen, there's all these other countries out there where they're educating their children and they're becoming way more competitive in the international marketplace, and Americans are falling behind. Americans are falling behind on every single metric. And that's part of the reason why a lot of people are angry, right? They're angry because they look around, they're like, I'm spending so much money on my taxes. None of it is going back. None of it is actually going back to the roads. None of it's going back to the infrastructure. There's potholes everywhere. The hospitals are in a state of disrepair. What the hell is going on? And this is an anger that a lot of people have. And it's an anger that I share with you as well, if that's what you're mad about. I want those funds to go back, not to an endlessly expanding military where, some woke guys over in San Francisco or in San Diego that got an engineering degree are building weapons and new weapons to figure out new ways of murdering children overseas. But instead, to go back to more productive things, to go back to ourselves, go back to education, to go back to healthcare, to go back to infrastructure expenditure, and hopefully to go back to a federal jobs program that builds a lot of houses so that there are no more homeless people around, right?
I do agree with everything you said, but with defense, it scares me. What if a missile comes from Russia right at us? We've got to be good enough to shoot it in the air, down.
I mean, but we already have defense systems. I'm saying like we're increasing the funding, and it's actually once again very inefficient because a lot of that money that goes back into the Pentagon, who knows where it's going, right? We don't know where it's going. They tell you it's going to defense. But as a matter of fact, it's going to these massive corporations that aren't even actually paying their engineers, really. But it's going to CEOs. It's going to faceless, lifeless, parasitic capital owners that don't care about America. They're multinational. They don't actually have any sort of allegiance to America, and they clearly don't care about their fellow citizens either. They're basically just looting the taxpayer money and putting it directly into their pockets. You know, MLK said this, but this is a nation where we have rugged individualism for the poor, for the everyman, for the working class individual, but we have a system of socialism for the very wealthy. Don't you think it'd be better if we flipped it on its own, where the very wealthy should engage in rugged individualism and the working poor, the everyday person, should be getting more of their tax fund, getting more in return for the taxes that they pay?
They don't.
It should be equal. Why would the wealthy pay for the poor all the time?
Because they have way more money.
Well, no, that's not even what I'm saying. I'm not even saying the wealthy should be paying for the poor. I'm saying that the poor prop up the wealthy. In our current system right now, wealthy people that have a much better starting point, right, usually, more often than not, end up becoming unimaginably wealthy. They end up becoming unimaginably wealthy in the current system that we have, right? And they would not be that wealthy without labor, without people working jobs, whether, they're accountants like yourself, Bob, or, plumbers or janitors or sanitation workers. They would not be able to generate this revenue, right? They would not be able to have any output whatsoever because, yeah, sure, maybe you had a lot of money and you were able to purchase a factory, right? But that factory remains dull if there is no labor inside of that factory. Labor is what creates value, right? You agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Because without workers, these factories would not, there would be nothing.
I know where you're going.
I don't agree with that.
What, you don't agree with that? You think factories would have the same output without workers working in them?
If you don't have billionaires to invest capital, it doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference how many workers you have.
You think Amazon would be Amazon without people working in the factories? In the distribution centers?
There wouldn't be Amazon without capital government.
No.
Okay.
I mean, Amazon is already getting tremendous tax breaks from the government.
You wouldn't have an Amazon.
Yeah, so here's the thing. A lot of these big businesses, they actually do get a lot of tax revenue. They get a lot of tax revenue. They get a lot of subsidies. They do get a lot of help from your taxes. But you find that to be appropriate, and that's all right. I mean, but my argument always is we should be paying more consideration and more attention to the people that are working inside of those facilities so they too can go and buy a home and take care of their children and have a healthier society overall. And the reality of the matter is, and you, Bob, you worked in some setting, right? You were an accountant. Like, if your boss didn't exist, you would still go to work and you would still do the same exact work no matter what. It's not because your boss that existed, your company was able to make money, right?
Right.
No, I went from being an accountant to a natural gas trader.
Okay.
I worked my way into a better situation so I could make more money.
He's worked for several very, very rich men.
Billionaires that you would condemn, and they provided hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars for jobs. In fact, in the state of Oklahoma, one of the guys I work for is the reason Oklahoma's better off than they were 5 or 10 years ago.
Boone Pickens Stadium.
So here's the thing. Okay. You worked for them. They hired you because they saw value in what you do. without
and
you
then I made a
and
lot of
without
money
people
for them,
like
and they
you
paid
working
me
for
a lot of
them.
money.
But Bob,
And
without
they made
you,
me a lot of money.
Okay.
no, they gave you money in the form of a
Oh, I
wage.
earned it.
Okay. They gave you a wage, right? You were a waged salaried employee, right?
No.
Oh, you got
What?
I was on
Did you work
commission.
on commission? Oh, okay. You worked on okay, so you were doing
100%.
sales. Got it.
In addition to a salary.
Okay, that's great. No, sales is actually sales is something
It's
that I
not
did before I.
sales. It's not called sales.
Oh, dear
It's
God.
called trading.
Okay, so you were
I
a
had
trader.
positions on whether gas would go up or down, and I could not be wrong. I had to be right.
Okay, regardless, you were earning them more money than they were giving you. That's the point, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you
Sure.
were okay. There you go. So you were providing them value. They didn't actually
Yeah.
work in that setting. They just hired you. They had the upfront capital. They had the money to hire
put up
someone
the
like
capital.
yourself to make them even more
Now
money.
you need to backtrack. They put up the capital. Without them, there would have been no job at all.
No, I don't have to backtrack at all because the reality
Yeah,
of the
you
matter
do.
is, if a job is a necessity, if a job is an absolute necessity, then we don't need to rely on someone to put the upfront capital because we're already pooling those funds right now. We pull those funds in the form of taxes. We could have public banks that could actually fund and invest into these initiatives as well by need. And it's actually kind of how it works in many other countries as well. Or it kind of works in the same way here as well in the United States of America. The distribution of those
Banks
resources,
weren't very
however,
damn good
stay at the top.
Yeah.
Banks had to give up trading because they sucked at it.
Wait,
Okay.
what? No, banks still, I think banks
What?
do a lot of that.
Your
I mean, I think
banks-
it should be
major
separate.
Banks
But
like Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, all had to quit trading because they lost so damn much money.
who do you
And
think?
I know that for a fact
Who do you
because I
think
was in the
worked,
business.
Bob? Who do you think worked harder, you or the guy who hired you? Who do you think worked harder to generate value? You or the guy who just simply had more money than you and was wise enough to hire someone as smart as yourself?
The second guy I worked for probably worked more hours than I did.
Uh-huh. You
And
must
harder.
have had a bad
And
bad
he
boss
put
at
all
some
his
point
money.
though, right?
And he put his money up. He was willing to take a risk.
Okay. But
Being so argumentative.
at the
Well,
end
I
of the
mean-
day,
He didn't know what he was talking about.
but at the end of the day, if it wasn't for you and the work that you put in, he wouldn't have made as much money, right? As opposed to not hiring you, right? You made him
I
money.
don't know.
Correct.
Because he would mimic my trade sometimes and make a lot more than I did.
Okay.
Yeah, because he had more money than you.
He had the same money.
He's got his hat back
Same
on. Be
cap.
nice.
Put the hat back on, Bob.
Yeah.
I'll put the hat back on.
It's
It's
Defend
easier to
it.
agree.
I'm defending your rights as a worker in your own experience, and you're still trying to defend your boss to me for some weird reason. I don't understand.
I'm not a worker. I never felt like I wasn't an employee for
Okay.
starters.
Okay. Quit.
I remember there was an
There
episode we
was
did
no
where
salary involved.
I remember I asked
There
you
was
once.
no salary involved. I got a 1099 at the end of the year, not a W-2.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. I'm a 1099 worker as well. That still means that you're getting a wage from. You're still getting a wage to a certain
Where are your
degree
work?
from. I work for myself. I technically get a 1099 from Amazon though, because of the platform that I'm on. It's owned by Jeff Bezos.
So you don't have a W-2 either.
No, I no longer have a W-2. I was a W-2 worker
You're
when I
not
was
an
doing
employee.
sales back in the day. But I'm an independent contractor technically, just like you were for the company that you're working for, but it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is you are still, when you are making money for someone else, you are still working. Like as a contractor, you are still doing what? Contracted work.
So
Yes.
There was
It's not a bad thing. This is just what it is. I
don't
wasn't
see
being
your point.
argumentative.
There was
I don't see
an
your
episode that we did a long time ago where I asked you if you thought you had more in common with the average kind of working person or billionaires, and you said billionaires. You thought you have more in common with a billionaire than the average person. But that's simply
Their
not true.
mindset- With the mindset, I have more in common with the people I work for than workers.
Okay. Oof. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if this is like common to all MAGA, but that attitude that like you and Elon Musk could be buddies and hang out in the same room, but you can't with the guy who's like 2 levels below you at your corporation. It's just wrong. And I don't know if that's like purposefully done
it's called
in right-wing media or
temporarily embarrassed millionaire. Like that's what it is.
It depends on who you are. The billionaires I worked for, I did hang out with.
No one should be a billionaire. Literally no one.
I agree. I think it's an indication that the system is failing when there's that level of wealth disparity, when there's that much level of wealth accumulation at the top. It is just as a failure of the system as is every single homeless person that has to sleep outside. Almost 700,000 of them have to sleep outside in the wealthiest nation on the planet. It means that this system is just not working, right? We have to fix it. That's what I want to do.
I agree 100%. But Mom and Dad, you're for the billionaires. You like that they exist. You like them.
They have to exist.
I don't want the homeless people on the street, but why can't our government help them? Why can't our government do help with them?
Because they don't give
Mental
a shit.
help, drug help, whatever kind of help they want.
Who's they?
Our government.
Our government. Yeah. It's busted. They don't care. They don't care if we have health care. They don't certainly care if you're homeless.
Yeah, they only care about billionaires. They only care about billionaires and making sure that billionaires are turning profit year over year.
Trump is a billionaire. The fucking president is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And they contract from other billionaires. Like, you can't see the trend. I just don't understand. And you're okay with it. Like, there should be 0 billionaires.
They just plugged fucking Grok into the DOD computers. Like
Department of War.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, the Department of War.
Yeah, I got you, Bob.
Right. I'm living back in Obama and Biden days when they called the Department of Defense. I'm just saying, like, that's another billionaire who we already saw basically was trying to run the country while Trump was sitting at the fucking desk. Then he got kicked out because Tesla stock was tanking, and he's like, shit, I got to go back and make sure the stock prices go up. Now he's on the verge of becoming the world's first trillionaire, and he's getting a government contract to put his fucking AI in the Department of, my apologies, War, in all their computers.
Don't dead name the Department
to
of
get
War.
all of our military data running through Grok. It's not enough that he has Starlink satellites and he's controlling all that shit and fucking siphoning data whenever he wants. Now he's going to have his AI in our Department of War. You don't see any problems with this. So when you say,
like, why is the government not doing anything about it? Because they want to get that fucking bag, okay? They want money. That's all. That's all it's about. It's all it's ever been about. Donald Trump is just a money-hungry sack of shit.
Sorry you feel that way.
Okay.
Are you guys about to go to sleep? I think this is, they might have, their engine's out of gas here.
A little bit.
I think this was a very productive conversation.
I actually do too. I'm surprised you guys, you did have some woke moments.